Drums of War, Chapter 11, Second Star. Below Newman, Jax looked over the tattered, gaunt, haunted group of about 2,000 civilians as they huddled together in the damp cavern below the ground. A generation was missing amongst them. The elderly, and even the aged, held and cradled the pups and the infants. There were 50 new pups in the press, 50 pups who had plastic tags through their ears like wildlife, and some had thick welts raised beneath their fur. Jax tried not to think about that too much. If he thought about that too much, he might go topside and get in the RNI's way. The cabin shook, and some pebbles broke off the roof. Jax didn't worry too much over it, since Kai and May had said that the cave would stand up to a decent-sized bomb. It was probably the drop pod's landing. He'd never been able to be as nonchalant as Terrence seemed to be about it, but at least he never refused to drop. Not for the first time. He bitterly wished that he had his armor. Sure, most guys don't buy their service armor, but he could have afforded it. He just couldn't conceive he'd ever need it in his life after service. More fool him. Ray came up behind him and put a hand on his shoulder, but when he went to shrug it away, she squeezed it tighter. What's the matter? Who needs help? You do. I'm fine. You're not, Jax. Jax, I said I'm fine, he snapped as he jerked his shoulder away. But when she made a sound of shock and pain, his head snapped around, and he looked in terror for the injury he had caused her. He saw only the anguish on her face. I'm sorry, I'm okay. I'll be okay. Please don't worry. Ash talks about it. Ash won't talk about anything. He used to be a thief. That surprised Jack so much that he couldn't make a sound from his slack-jawed maw. So she continued. Not for a while, but he's not proud of his past. Then he had turned his life around, got hired in construction, got married, and she was pregnant. Full 6 litter. Was. Yes, she was. She died when the hospital got hit. Why are you telling me this? Jax asked, as he fought the swell of pity before it could show on his face. Because Ash is worried about you too. Ash? He's more observant. There's a reason you sent him to scout. Too? Yes, Jax. He's worried too. Him and me. Kai is too worried about making sure he knows how everyone will evacuate if they need to. May just wants to kill another bloodskin, but Ash and I see it. Jack slapped the stone with his tail and gripped his rifle hard. He unclenched his jaw and said, I shouldn't have let so many buy us time in the first place. I should have brought more down here. I could have... How? Knocked them out and dragged them all down here under fire? I don't know. I should have... Somehow. I'm a veteran. I served with Terrans in an anti-piracy patrols and saw 3 combat drops. I should be able to do more. You want to be up there? Yes, but even without my armor, I'd be a liability, he spat. You just said that you fought the Terrans before, she prodded. You don't understand. Those aren't just Terrans. Those are RNI drop troopers, Lost Boy Rapid Response Division. The training the Republic put me through for regular grunt standards makes our military training look like a pup's park. The Lost Boys make the RNI drop troopers look like pups playing in their father's fishing box. These are the guys who read my side, and instead of feeling sorry for Sneaky, felt that he did the necessary thing and wanted to be that brave. If all of us were trained, and all of us had armor, we could support. But it's not. If any of us went up there, best case we only get ourselves hurt. Worst case, we get one of them killed to protect us. Because they will. They won't even think about it. Just one Lost Boy made all the difference back there. You think that we'd have gotten in without him covering us from the bird's perch of his. I know you'd be hurt, at least. I have 51 reasons to thank him. Oh, she muttered. Look at everyone still alive, still free. The pups told me why they were beaten. Why is that? Jax asked as stone formed in his belly. Their parents disobeyed. It took Jax a full 10 seconds to pull back the snarl of pure hateful rage off of his face to be replaced with a milder expression of fury. Genocidal and slavers. Thank the ancestors for the Lost Boys. Thank the ancestors for you, Jax. For you and the men like you in the other towns. Out in the hills, in the atolls. We'd have never held out this long. I'm fine. "I'll be okay. You don't have to worry," Jack said, with a transparent smile over his face. In high orbit above Numid, Acolyte Lord Nerix Quinn gritted his teeth. He could hardly believe that 4 ships, mighty battleships though they may be, could have put him on such shifting sands. His own battleships was currently bombarding the nearest of the 4 Terran battleships with all of its plasma batteries. "Acolyte Lord, their shields do show signs of stress." "Acolyte Lord, another initiate," Highborn began. "Our batteries do overheat. We must cease firing for cooling." "Make it so. Launch missiles to keep the pressure up." "I obey, Acolyte Lord." "Cruiser 5, move up and open fire upon the battleship," Acolyte Lord Nerix Quinn commanded over the communications network. He watched as a single battleship suppressed the whole of his fleet, and the other 3 sped towards the planet. "All frigates, focus fire on that battleship," he commanded, seizing the opportunity. The missiles crept towards the Terran battleship as the frigates maneuvered to bring their plasma lancers to bear on the massive vessel. For all of that, Acolyte Lord Nerix Quinn was denied the sight of the Terran shields finally buckling. "Acolyte Lord, if they can sustain that fire for another 5 seconds, our lancers can be brought to bear and finally overwhelm the Terran shields," the Initiate Highborn announced. "How fares the extraction ships? Acolyte Lord, they need only another 30 seconds to make minimum jump distance." "Frigates, do not lessen your fire. We shall make them pay the price of blood for this system," Acolyte Lord Nerix Quinn roared. Proximity alarms suddenly sounded. "What comms?" "Acolyte Lord, brace yourself for impact. Our shields do fail." "Slingshot trajectory," he cursed. One of the frigates broke apart under the Terran battleship's terrible power, and Acolyte Lord Nerix Quinn lancers came online. The gunnery officer did not wait for the order to fire, and the Terran shields finally failed, and hot plasma splashed across its hull. Acolyte Lord Nerix Quinn let a cruel grin spread across his face in anticipation of seeing the Terran vessel scorched into so much twisted and useless metal. But instead, 2 of his cruisers and yet another frigate broke apart. "Keep firing!" "Acolyte Lord," said his security officer, "we've been boarded." "How? This ship is nowhere near us." Above the ruins of a mining town, Corporal Linus George hurtled towards the ground in his drop pod, watching the last video communications that his brother had sent him. "So anyway, I don't know if we'll have comms capability once we're in the clan space. Since something's fucked out there," Robbie was saying, "so you might not be able to get a hold of me for a spell. Don't worry, the Weesing is a good ship. She'll get us home, huh? Sorry, Linus. Just because I'm an officer doesn't mean I get to hog up the phone. Keep the faith. See you when I see you." Linus let the pain well up in him. He let the tears run down his cheeks, and he let it turn to cold fury before he hit the ground. His armored pod Grav's bubble and inertial transferal systems had insulated him from the kinetic force of the impact, not so much the armored vehicle that he had been steering for. The charges placed at the seams of his pod hatch went off, sending said hatch through the surviving driver. He keyed his mic and said, "Alpha Blue Leader, boots down, team check-in." "Blue 1, boots down, checked in," said Private First Class Andrew Lewis. "Blue 2, boots down, checked in," said Private First Class Joshua Clark. "Blue 3, boots down, checked in," said Private First Class Benjamin Carter. "Alpha Blue, all present and accounted for, Sarge." "Good news, Corporal." "Not that they had much that could have picked one of us out on the way," came Sergeant Thomas Mitchell's growl over the TACnet. "Our area of operation is civi clear." "Say again, our operation is civi clear." "Requesting permission to switch to heavy ordo, Sarge." "Request logged, sir. A fire team is requesting heavy ordo." Lieutenant Mark Thompson answered in his dulcet tones, not dissimilar to being raked over broken glass. "Granted. Heavy ordo clear for all teams operating in combined civilian clear zones. Keep your eyes peeled for strays, though. Got it?" "Aye, sir," answered the entire chain of command. "Nobody go hunting medals. We're out here to get these cultists to get less eager to die," the gunny barked over the TACnet. Linus was already swapping out his standard ammunition block for a light armored penetrating explosive rounds. "Hi, gunny, no medals." In Linus's peripheral vision, a bird's eye view of his area of operation showed an infantry squad and a tank approaching him, a platoon of infantry approaching a PFC Clark, and what looked like a group of armored troop carriers approaching PFC Lewis. "Blue 3, find yourself a perch and provide support for Blue 2. "Blue 1, see that? Aye, Blue Leader. I won't see it in a minute." Linus opened up on the tank, putting 3 rounds directly through the joint between the turret and the deck, and half a second later they exploded, leaving a twisted hole through which Linus could put more explosive rounds, just in case the tankers didn't die from the shrapnel of the original explosives. "Time to go to work, boys. We remember the we sing. Nice, sir. Don't sir me. I'm a corporal." Linus's team laughed at him. Linus still couldn't find his humor. Hot plasma bolts splashed against his battle screen, and he started eliminating soft targets. End of chapter. I'd quickly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.